last train of the night. There's always something eerie about it, isn't there? The hollow echo of your footsteps on the platform. The flickering lights. The feeling that you're the only person left in the world. I used to love that feeling. The solitude. But that was before. Before that night. It was a Tuesday, just after midnight. Rain was lashing against the windows of the station, and I was just trying to get home after a brutal shift. The platform was deserted, except for me and one other man standing at the far end, shrouded in the shadows of a concrete pillar. I barely gave him a second glance. The train's arrival was a relief, its bright lights cutting through the gloom. The doors hissed open, and I stepped into an empty carriage. Well, almost empty. There was a woman sitting a few rows down, her head slumped against the window, her hair obscuring her face. I figured she was asleep. I took a seat near the door, pulled out my phone, and tried to distract myself from the bone-deep exhaustion. The train lurched forward, and the rhythmic clatter of the wheels on the track began. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack. A comforting sound, usually. A few minutes into the journey, a strange noise cut through the rhythm of the train. A low, wet, guttural sound. It was coming from the woman. I looked up. She was still slumped against the window, but her body was twitching. A small, jerky movement. My first thought was that she was having a seizure. I stood up, about to ask if she needed help, when she slowly lifted her head. My blood ran cold. Her face? It wasn't a face. It was a mangled ruin. When I was gone, her jaw hung at an unnatural angle, and a thick, dark fluid trickled from the corner of her lips. But the worst part was her remaining eye. It was wide, milky white, and fixed on me with a terrifying vacant intensity. She wasn't having a seizure. She was something else. Then I noticed the man from the platform. He was standing at the connecting door to the next carriage, his back to me. He hadn't moved since the train started. He was just standing there. A sense of dread, thick and suffocating, washed over me. I wasn't just tired anymore. I was terrified. The woman pushed herself up from the seat. Her movements were wrong. Unnatural. Like a puppet with its strings tangled. Her joints cracked and popped with each jerky step she took towards me. That guttural sound escaped her throat again, louder this time. A groan of hunger, of pure mindless need. I scrambled backward, my heart hammering against my ribs. The carriage, which had felt so spacious just moments ago, now felt like a cage. I fumbled for my phone, my fingers shaking too much to dial. What would I even say? There's a monster on my train. They'd think I was crazy. The woman was getting closer, her one good eye never leaving mine. I could smell her now. The coppery scent of old blood and something else. Something like decay, like meat left out too long in the sun. I glanced desperately at the man by the door. "Hey!" I shouted, my voice cracking. "Help me!" He didn't move. He didn't even turn around. It was as if I hadn't spoken at all. The woman was only a few feet away now. Her mangled hand reaching for me, her fingers crooked and stiff. Panic gave me a jolt of energy. I spun around and bolted for the other end of the carriage, towards the connecting door. I had to get away, had to put as much distance as possible between me and that thing. I slammed through the door into the next car. It was empty. A wave of relief, so powerful it almost made me buckle, washed over me. I leaned against the door, my breath coming in ragged gasps. But the relief was short-lived. A slow, rhythmic thudding started on the door I'd just come through. Thud. 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 She was trying to get in. I looked around the new carriage, frantically searching for an escape, for a weapon, for anything. My eyes landed on the emergency brake handle. Pulling it was a risk. The train would stop, but where? In the middle of a dark tunnel. But what other choice did I have? Just as my hand reached for the handle, the thudding stopped. Silence. A heavy, dreadful silence. I held my breath, straining my ears, and then I heard it. A faint scraping sound from above. I looked up. Through the grimy window of the connecting door, I saw a shape moving on the roof of the train. It was crawling over the top of the carriage, towards me. A new kind of terror seized me. There was no escape. I was trapped. The scraping sound grew louder, closer. It was directly above me now. I squeezed my eyes shut for the sound of glass shattering, for the feeling of those cold, dead hands on me. But it didn't come. Instead, the connecting door at the far end of my carriage slid open. My heart leapt. Maybe it was a guard, security, another passenger. I opened my eyes, hope surging through me. But it wasn't a guard. It was the man from the platform. He finally turned to face me, and I saw that he was just like her. His face was a pale, emotionless mask, his eyes the same milky white. And he wasn't alone. Behind him, the next carriage was full of them. Dozens of them, standing silently. Their dead eyes all turning to fix on me, the last living person on the last train. The man took a slow, deliberate step into my carriage, then another. The scraping on the roof stopped. I knew why. The woman had reached the front of the carriage and was probably about to drop down through the other door. They were closing in. A pincer movement. I was trapped between them. The rhythmic clickety-clack of the wheels was the only sound. A steady, maddening metronome counting down my final seconds. There was no emergency brake that could save me now. No door I could run through. This wasn't just a carriage, it was a tomb on wheels. The man in front of me opened his mouth, and that same low, hungry groan filled the air, echoed by the chorus of the dead behind him. The train rushed on into the darkness, carrying its terrible cargo. And me. Clickety-clack. Clickety-clack. The last thing I saw was a sea of milky white eyes, all fixed on me. The last thing I heard was the sound of my own scream, swallowed by the groans of the dead. The train never reached the next station. No one knows what happened to it. It just vanished into the night. They call it the ghost train now. But I know the truth. It wasn't ghosts on that train. It was something far, far worse. If you enjoyed this terrifying journey on the last train of the dead, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more chilling horror stories. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of the fear. Thanks for watching, and until next time, don't look behind you.